Let's play Holiday Hills in Mineral Wells, Texas. Practice range. And here's a shot of the putting greens right off the clubhouse. Chipping and pitching greens. There's a sand trap on the right side over there to help practice with. Lots of room over here to pitch from. All right, here we are, hole 1, par 4. All right, here we are in the tee box on hole 1. And there's your fairway straight ahead, right through these trees. That white stake, and the green is going to wrap around this fairway to the right. You can see it elevated with the bunker straight ahead that way. There's your look. You can take a line, an aggressive line over those trees. It'll set you right up in the middle of the fairway. All right, here we are looking at the approach on 1. It's a short hole, 318 yards to this flag. We're about 115 out here straight at the green. Little elevated green up there, bunker front right side. All right, here we are in the green on 1. Got about a 30-yard front to back. Very flat, very smooth. Little high point here on the right side next to this bunker. Other than that, pretty clean. All right, here we are, hole 2. It's a par 3. Plays pretty long, looks like a par 3. All right, here's tee box number 2 in this par 3. Pretty straight line, 190, 195 from here. Here's a look at the tee box. Little dip in the middle, little creek running through. Pretty flat overall, lots of places to miss right and left. Should go right at it. Here's the green on hole 2. Very smooth, flows back to front a little bit. Other than that, it doesn't move very much. Pretty flat, pretty clean, very smooth. All right, here we are on 3. Par 5, long hole. All right, here's the blue tee box on hole 3. It's a par 5. It goes straight down. Number 1 handicap, I think it's because there's a out of bounds here on the right side, not much room to work with on the right, so there's a lot of danger on that right side. Trees protect you a little bit, but a few trees on the left. If you miss this one, miss left, lots of room on that left side to maneuver. All right, here's your look down at the fairway, 200 yards out. Still can't see too much down there, but you can see the green straight ahead, protected by that left side bunker. Your line is still straight ahead all the way out. All right, here we are looking at the final approach on hole 3, this par 5, uphill to the green. A little bit of a bunker on the left side. Nothing too much to deal with. Lots of room all around the hole to make a mistake. Just go right at that thing. All right, here we are in the green on 3. 21-yard front to back. We have a slight hill coming from left side back to right side front. Green overall is pretty smooth, not too many undulations to deal with. Again, you have this small green side bunker here on the left. Other than that, like I said, lots of room to miss all around this green. All right, here we are on hole 4. It says 140 from the blues. It's a par 3. Okay, here we are on hole 4. It's a par 3 over water. You got a backstop on the back side of this green to help bring it back. Pretty straight shot. You can't miss short. You can miss long right, long left. You can miss a little short, stay in the grass, and then approach it in. But your green, you got a lot of green left to right to work with, but not too deep front and back. All right, here we are on hole 4, the par 3 green. Slopes back to front. You can kind of see how the backside cascades down just a little bit right there where the grass gets dark straight ahead. You can see that. Top level comes down to the lower level. All funnels back here to the water, right behind the green. Really wide left to right. Again, 18 yards back to front, right up to that flag. All right, here we are, hole 5. It's another par 4. 390 from the tips, from the blues. That's what we're shooting today. All right, here we are on hole 5. par 4. Straight through these trees, you can see the flag, little red flag waving in the distance. Your fairway is going to be here on the left side. In between these trees, kind of makes a little hallway. So you're going a little bit right, but the goal is straight ahead. So you're lying, pretty aggressive line over those trees if you can clear those. Otherwise, you can be to the left a little bit, and there's your line. All right, here's a look at our approach hit on 5. About 130 yards out from this green. Lots of room to miss, left, right, back, front. It's wide open. Go right at that green with pretty much no risk. All right, here we are at the green on 5. 21-yard front to back. Pretty short right to left. It does just slope from the back left corner towards the front, back to fair. All right, here we are on hole 6. It's a par 5, 493 from the blues. All right, blue tee box on here on 6. 493 yards, par 5. Again, your line is straight out, trees to the right and left. Pretty sporadic. Just a little punch out, nothing's going to get lost on here. You got a wide open miss right and left everywhere, so you can go full send here, let it rip. All right, here's a shot looking in at the fairway on 6. Still can't really see the green that well. You can see the bunker straight ahead to the right side a little bit. We're about 230 yards out in this par 5, but your line is still straight ahead, right through that white stake. All right, here we are. Final approach over the hill. About 50 yards into the green, you can kind of see it's elevated somewhat. Bunker on the front left side and kind of the middle right side. Otherwise, lots of room to miss all over this green. It does look like it turtle shells in the middle, little spine in the center, and the flag, if it's in the center, it'll roll off the back or the front. But not too much rolling movement today, so it should be good if you get it up on the flat surface. Okay, here we are on the green on 6, 25-yard front to back. You can see the high point, middle right side. The whole top surface is somewhat, and it wants to come down, funnels right back down to the front left of this fairway. Front left of this green back down to the fairway. You can see the bunker on the middle right side and the front left side here. Smooth, no other bumps or undulations, just this high point here on the right side that flows right back down to the bottom level. All right, here we are, hole 7. Short par 4, 327 yards from the blues. All right, here's a look at the tee box. From the tee box on the blues, you have a bunker playing on the left side, about 230 yards on the left. Water straight ahead, about 255 yards. Center right, all the way down there toward the green is that water. Your line is going to be just the left side of that, just the right side of that bunker, right in the middle of the open fairway. You got out of bounds on the right side, you got highway over here on the right side, out of bounds that side, and water hard left. So there's a good look. Wide open space to get your shot in. Here we are. Water in the fairway, just in the rain. Water protecting that green, all on this front right side. Your shot coming in. Pretty safe once you're over that water. You got a lot of room left, right, and backside to miss. Just don't get it short. Okay, here we are in the green on 7. 26-yard front to back. A little bit of bowl movement in here as far as the center is deep. The front side closest to the fairway is up and the back side is up. And it does run a little bit right to left on that down slope. Pretty subtle movements, pretty smooth overall. There's a good look. All right, here we are, hole 8. Another par 5, dogleg right. Place 493 from the blues. Kind of see that angle going that way. All right, number 8 tee box. Good look at your fairway, running up that tree line. If you get stuck in those trees, it's a mess just to punch out. Your line is going to be straight down that tree line on the left side of those trees, or you can take an aggressive approach over those trees, give you a little bit of cut, but you don't want to go too far right. There's a structure over there with a fence which will be out of bounds. So if you want to stay safe, straight ahead is your line. All right, here we are at the turn of this par 5 on 8. It's about 180 yards out from this point, straight ahead into the flag. You got a wide open look at that green. You got a bunker on the right side of that green and a few trees short, but they're sporadic. You can get out of those. Again, here is your look. Here we are on the green on 8, 27 yards front to back. Got a little dip over here in the left side. You can see the color change on the grain. Other than that, it's a pretty flat and smooth surface. The backside is a little taller than the front. It angles right down to the little grain change right here in the middle of the green. It looks like it wants to run your right to left coming down this way. All right, here we are, hole 9. It's another par 3, 192 yards from the blues. Hole 9, blue tee box here, 192 yards out, straight line into the green. You're surrounded by trees around that green and a front left side bunker protecting that green. You can see the flag in the middle of the green, trees hanging from every direction. Lots of mistakes here around the trees. If you're into those trees, it's a punch out. Hopefully you can get it up to the green if you're long enough. But you got a lot of room left and right. There's no lost balls unless you just lose it in the tree. You can pretty much go right at it, be pretty aggressive with it, and just see how it falls. All right, here we are on the green on 9, 26 yard front to back. The screen's got a lot of movement all over it, a lot of undulations, high point right there in the shade. The backside runs off. If you go too long, you are long off of the backside. Pay no attention to my tee shot. It was pure. Again, bunker, front left side with a big lip, pretty deep in there to get out of. See all the trees on this left side, trees on the right side. Looks like it's fairly easy to chip out of if you get stuck under one of these. Long green from back left corner to front right, but only measures 26 from front to back straight ahead. All right, here we are, hole 10, another par 3, placed 201 yards from the blues. All right, here we are, blue tee box, hole 10, another par 3. Pretty straightforward shot, placed 201 from the blues. It misses downhill to the left side. If you hit it long, it's going to run left, potentially into the street, and there is out of bounds markers down that way. Tree trouble on the right side. If you're going to miss short left. All right, we got a hole 10 green, about a 22 yarder front to back. Angles back left, down towards the front of the fairway. Right to left's pretty smooth. No other undulations, just the left side rear of the green is a little higher up and slopes back down. All right, here we are on hole 11, par 4, 395 from the blues. All right, here we are on 10, par 4, slight dogleg right, about 270 to the turn, straight ahead, out of bounds, fence line on your right, wide open misses on your left. Pretty good wide open shot. You can see the marker in the grass, that's your line. Here we are at the approach on 10, about 145 yards out, uphill. You got a big green side bunker on the right side to caution. You got a few trees here and there, but nothing to be worried about. Wide open miss pretty much everywhere except that bunker, front side short, you're good. Left side, you're good. Go right at that pin. All right, here's the green on 10. Pretty smooth overall, no undulations to speak of, except it does slant from left to right, kind of left cornered back to front right corner. And you have that left side bunker in the middle of the green, and also this front right side bunker on this right side. All right, here we are, hole 12, par 3, 201 yards from the blue tees. And edit, I think on the last green I said it was hole 10 green, but that was hole 11 green we just finished. All right, here's another par 3, 201 yards out from the blue tee box. There is water in between this tee box and the green. There's a little water down below this hill, but it should not be a factor unless you top it like I do. Wide open look at the green. You don't want to go too long. There is a little bit of water pretty deep back there, but you can miss right and left all you want, and then immediate short of that green is plenty of room to miss. All right, here is the hole 12 par 3 green. Pretty flat overall, just slight undulation, but not enough to really document. Pretty wavy, but depending on where that pin placement is, it's going to determine the roll. Not a whole lot of information. Probably go off the grain and see how it looks. You can see some dark spots and white spots throughout. All right, here we are at 13. It's a par 4. The blue tees are going to be over water. You're playing 323 from the blue tees. Should be fun. All right, here we are at 13. Tee box. Blue tees over water. Your line is straight through those trees. You can see the green right inside there. This should be interesting. You're going to need to hit it at least 200 yards to clear that water straight ahead. All right, here we are. Look at the fairway at 140 yards in. Right between these trees, tight fit to that green. You got to be pretty accurate. Lots of trees right and left will knock that ball down. Not necessarily get lost over there, but it'll knock it down, and you're playing from behind a lot of trees. Gets tough over there. So that green is protected by tree limbs, leaves, and a bunch of rubble below it. The green on 13 is about a 23-yard back to front. It is definitely longer than it is wider. Pretty flat overall. You have a little bit of back to front slant, just a little drop off right there in the middle of the green. And it does look like it angles a little bit right to left. There is water to the left side, so it wouldn't surprise me if it did move right to left. You can see it's a little higher on this right side, but the break looks pretty subtle. Hole 14, par 5, 500 yards from the blue tee box. All right, here we are on 14, 500 yards, par 5. There's your line straight ahead from this tee box. You are splitting the trees. Lots of trees on the left, not too many on the right. Once you clear this tree here, you can seem like you can get over that, and there's a lot of room on that right side to work with. Left side's going to be tough. You miss left, lots of trees to punch out of. That's just going to tear it up. Your line straight ahead to that fairway marker. All right, here we are in the middle of the fairway, about 240 yards out from the green. You can see wide open, clear, no trees really in your way here. There's your 150 marker straight ahead. Wide open look right into the green. Not too much trouble anywhere around that green. Just go right at it. All right, here we are on the 14th green, 24-yard front to back. 2 levels. You can see the top half where the color changes. You can see the grain go from dark to light. Top half and bottom half slants down toward the front. You can see the back left side is higher, and it wants to funnel back down to the fairway to this right side. Again, not a lot of places to miss that are bad shape for you. You can miss wide right, left, front, back, and short. You're good everywhere. Okay, here we are, hole 15. It's a par 4, plays about 374 from the blues. You can see it's a slight dog leg left there, straight ahead, and then just breaks off the left. All right, hole 15, blue tee box, 375 yards, par 4. Here's your line, here's your look. Slight left fairway, you can see the flag right in front of that house. Not too much of a dog leg. There's your 150 marker straight ahead in the middle of the fairway. If you hook the ball like I do, this hole fits you perfectly. There is out of bounds trouble on the right side, residential, to deal with. And a few single trees left, but they're pretty sporadic. And again, here is your look at your fairway. All right, here we are on the approach on 15, about 130 yards out from the green. Lots of room to miss here all around, except for the left side. You've got a bunker, green side left, and also a cluster of trees on the left. Everywhere else is okay to miss, even a little bit long. You're looking good. Green. There's a bunker on the back right side, long right. Other than that, short left, short right, short middle, and even long left look okay to miss. All right, here we are on the green on 15, about a 27-yarder back to front. Pretty flat overall with a slight angle back to front. Again, you got a right side bunker here on the back green side and left green side bunker over here. Lots of room to miss all around the green, except for those bunkers. Not too terrible. You got a high point there next to the bunker coming down. Other than that, just a slight slope forward back to the fairway. All right, here we are in 16. It's a par 4, 338 yard par 4. Slight dogleg right. See the little image there on the plaque. All right, hole 16, tee box. Straight ahead is your fairway. Safe route, straight ahead. Right at that white marker, you're looking at about 200, a little less than 200 yards into that marker. If you want to be aggressive going for the green through the trees, you can see this cart. They are around the green. That's an idea of where you'd have to go. Taking a pretty aggressive line over these trees, going right at it. But here's a good look at your fairway on 16. Hole 16, par 4. Here's your approach coming in about 145 yards out. Good look at the green. Not too much trouble around this green. You got a tree on the back left side, pretty far off. It's pretty wide open. Go ahead and go for it. You can be aggressive on this one and go right at the pin. All right, here we are on the green on 16. A 17-yarder front to back. Pretty flat overall, slight back to front angle otherwise. Not too much movement, very minimal. Depending on placement, it's not going to roll too much. Not too much break on this one. All right, here we are at 17, a par 4, 395 from the blue tees, dog leg left. All right, here we are, blue tee box, hole 17. It's a par 4, dog leg left. Here's your line straight ahead, right through these trees. Big hanging trees on this right side of this tee box. You can see your 150 marker straight ahead. That's your target on your fairway. All right, here we are at the approach on 17, about 150 yards out. Wide open, clean look at that green. Go right at it. No trouble anywhere. Unless you go long left, a little patch of grass back there, but otherwise, you're pretty good. Go right at it. Okay, green on 17, about a 20-yard back to front. Overall, very flat, very smooth. I don't see any undulation to deal with, any break. If there's break, it's minimal. Maybe a back left corner high spot, just a touch. Otherwise, very smooth, very flat overall. All right, here we are, hole 18, par 4, 364 from the blue tees. All right, here we are in the tee box on 18. Here's a look at your fairway, out of bounds right in the street over that fence. Left side, you got water straight ahead, about 230 yards on the left side, 240. Your line is straight ahead at that marker. In between the trees and the water, that's your line. All right, here we are at the approach on 18, about 100 yards out. Water on the left side here, right in front of the left side of the green. You got trees on your right side that should not be in play if you're going after the green. You can miss a little bit long left, you can miss a little bit long, and you can miss right and short in front of this green, and that's about it. Otherwise, you can go right at it from here in the middle of the fairway. Okay, here we are on the green on 18, about a 21-yarder front to back. Lots of undulation on this one. It's got a high point, middle front right side. The back right side over there. High point on that side. Slopes back to front, back down toward the water. Lots of movement on this green. Very different than the other greens so far. Right side down to front of the fairway. Take a long look at this one. It's got a lot of movement.